Hi, I'm Marcel Johnson. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Athletics, fall sports in the Sun Belt are heating up as our teams look for some normalcy in this unprecedented year. And entering his second season, our Caitlin Johnson talks with women's soccer head coach Lance Key. And later, Darren Walker sits down with volleyball head coach Heather Mercedes-Fontenot. We'll also take a look at our welcome back convocation for the student athletes and recap our university-based esports tournament. But first, head football coach Billy Napier joins us in the studio. You're watching Inside Louisiana Athletics.
Hello and welcome to the first 2020 fall edition of Inside Louisiana Athletics. Great to have you with us as we get to talk about Ragin Cajuns athletics once again. Of course, it is game week for the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns football team, and joining me now to discuss that and a lot more is the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns, Billy Napier. Coach, game week, that means a lot around here. Just talk about what that feels like to be here in that week right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I think we all can agree that there were lots of days in this off season where there was a lot of uncertainty. We weren't quite sure if we were going to play, but we get an opportunity to play. You know, I know for our players and our staff, this is a game we love. There's a lot of work that goes into it. I have to compliment our administration. Mm-hmm. You know, our leadership from the top down has been incredible. Dr. Savoy, Dr. Magger, the people and resources that they put into place to create some of these processes that have allowed us to do this safely. You know, our athletic training staff, the local health professionals, Pat Richards in particular, you know, I think the amount of work that guy's done in this all season has been impressive. So we're thankful for all these people that have contributed to this moment here.
I don't want to spend a ton of time on the last 7 months, but I do want to talk to you about your approach from day one. It's always been a message and a mentality of put your head down and go to work because you just didn't know what was going to happen. So talk about that message, that mentality, and you know, how do you think it resonated with our players?
Well, we always do that. I think this offseason in particular, it was important to do that. But, you know, you start with March 13th, I think it was, where we sent them home. And they were really there for 3 months. And having them buy into the assigned work that we prescribed them. You know, then you move into a voluntary phase. For 5 weeks, we trained about 100 players. Rarely had a player miss anything. It was usually an accident or a family situation. And then we moved into the football part, the access, the mini camp, the training camp. But I think each little phase or amount of time along the way, we tried to focus, have specific goals, objectives. Don't worry about anything else. And I think the players have done that, you know. And then we look up here in this game week. So it's been a blur, but I'm thankful that we've got really good kids that trust us, that have worked really hard. I'm thankful for the leadership that we have amongst our staff as well, and the relationships that they have with the players.
And if COVID wasn't enough, we finally get around to football, and we have the untimely passing of assistant coach DJ Looney. Everything going on in the country and the community, a hurricane that really kind of altered a week of practice. Talk about, you know, finding our way through that adversity, and how do you think it prepares these guys for, you know, adversity not only on the field but later on in life?
Well, I think you're spot on. You know, I think COVID-19 is way down on the list. You know, you think about some of the social issues, the unrest within our country. Coach Looney, in my opinion, that event, that experience, and the difficulty of losing a person that was that special, had that personality, that injury that really affected our culture here as a staff and certainly with the players. I think that's probably been the most difficult thing along the way, you know, in my opinion. You know, certainly the hurricane, we dodged the bullet here locally.
No doubt.
But having a chance to see that, you know, heading over there this past Saturday was, I think, good for our players to see. I think gives them some perspective. But, you know, the big thing here is I think our players are very thankful for the things that they do have. They've kept really good perspective, and we're excited about the opportunities that are in front of us.
Let's get to Iowa State, a late addition, obviously, to the schedule after Wyoming was taken off. Talk about the Cyclones. It kind of starts with the quarterback, Purdy, over 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, no, I think they're a really well-coached team. Matt Campbell's a very accomplished coach. I think they've got a really good identity as a team. You know, they play good offense, good defense. They're sound on special teams. They play really hard. I got a lot of respect for this program. You know, a lot of the things that we believe in, the way we play ball, they do that as well. So we're excited about the challenge. You know, they're picked to be a significant contender, not only in the Big 12 but in the national picture. So this is a good team with a lot of veteran players coming back.
Nationally televised game on ESPN, 11 o'clock kickoff in Ames, Iowa, the Cajuns' first trip to Ames.
Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, our Caitlin Johnson talks with women's soccer head coach Lance Key after their win this past Friday against Abilene Christian.
You are UL Lafayette's #1 priority. That's why we're following guidelines set by national and local health experts to protect you during the COVID-19 pandemic. The university is reorganizing rooms and spaces to reinforce social distancing, sanitizing campus buildings, and mandating that everyone wears protective equipment. But don't take our word for it. Take a look for yourself at some of the many safety measures we're implementing, and you'll see that our priority is you.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
You are UL Lafayette's #1 priority. That's why we're following guidelines set by national and local health experts to protect you during the COVID-19 pandemic. The university is reorganizing rooms and spaces to reinforce social distancing, sanitizing campus buildings, and mandating that everyone wears protective equipment. But don't just take our word for it. Take a look for yourself at some of the many safety measures we're implementing, and you'll see that our priority is you.
We all have dreams.
I want to dance. I like to build things. I want to explore.
For over 120 years, the University of Louisiana at Lafayette has made it possible for young dreams to become realities. So go ahead, dream big. We'll help you make those dreams come true.
The health and safety of our students is our main concern. That is why the Office of University Housing and Residential Life has developed new protocols and procedures to strengthen our efforts to protect you during this pandemic. Housing staff is trained and ready to carry out safety protocols and guidelines set by local and national health authorities. All common areas will be cleaned and sanitized often, and no more than 2 residents will share a bedroom and bathroom. These are just a few of the safety measures we are implementing to ensure that our priority is you.
It may have taken a little bit longer than expected, but the 2020 soccer season started off on the right foot for Coach Lance Key and his ball club as Louisiana defeated Abilene Christian by the score of 2-0 in the home and season opener. The win moving the Cajuns to 1-0, first time Louisiana started off 1-0 since 2014. See the highlights there. Cajuns got on the board first thanks to the right foot of the transfer, Lizzie Mayfield. This goal here in the 18th minute outside the 18-yard box. Beautiful strike from the right foot. Mayfield was not done though. She finished the night with 3 points, goal and 1 assist. That assist would come later as it would set up Julianne W's goal to give the Cajuns that 2-0 victory. Louisiana outshot Abilene Christian by the score of 10-6, 6-4 shots on goal for the Cajuns, including a few opportunities that you see here. For Julianne W., the goal in the 76th minute was the second one of her career, and it put the Cajuns ahead 2-0 and sealed the victory for Louisiana.
Caitlin Johnson with head coach Lance Key. Coach, what are some positive things you can take away from tonight's game, and what are some things you'd like to do a little bit differently for next game?
I think some of the positives are the simple ones, right? We scored 2 goals, we didn't concede, 3 points on opening night in front of our home fans and family. It's been a long time since we got to play a competitive college match, and I think to be able to come out tonight and get the result that we did at home after such a long layoff is packed full of positives. You know, I think the girls have to come out of this experience just really excited and really grateful that we had the opportunity. That's one of the things we keep talking to them. Just be grateful. We get the opportunity. So many others don't. Let's take the opportunity. Let's be responsible with it. Let's continue to create those opportunities by staying healthy and staying responsible within our bubble. And they've done that, and tonight's a reward for them. In terms of the things we've got to change or improve upon, you know, it's really difficult after so long off and so many new young players in our program that have joined this year to create rhythm and the timing components in the attack. And I think one of those, that's probably the biggest aspect that we did not do well tonight is our timing and releasing the ball and really getting forward and making sure we got numbers in good areas. And so some of that just has to come through a little bit of experience, a little bit of time.
And how does it feel to win your first game for your second season with Louisiana, especially with such a complicated start with coronavirus and not knowing if you're going to play?
Yeah, listen, anytime we get a result is a great feeling, and I'm really proud of the girls. I'm proud of our staff. You know, I'm so thankful for Eddie Avick and Candace Walls and Connor Stanton, the group that really has kind of held our crew together during the times when our technical staff hasn't been able to work with the team. They've done an incredible job of just continuing to move them forward. But the girls at the end of the day, I mean, they're responsible for the results. They're responsible for their actions away from the field and maintaining our bubble. And for me tonight, it's just all about them, and just so grateful that they got a reward for all their hard work.
And who would you say stepped up and really led the way tonight for your team?
You know, I think Gwen at the back had a really good game. She was very solid, good decision making, some really intelligent moments within the game, and helped us to preserve a clean sheet. Jordan played in goal. This is her first game with Louisiana after transferring from California, and I thought she was really good tonight. There were some dangerous balls they played into the box, and she handled them very, very well. And then obviously, you know, the game-winning goal from Lizzie there in the first half. She's a fantastic player, very talented young lady, and took that chance very, very well to put us up 1-0, and then ended up getting on the assist on the second goal. So, you know, I think in terms of the attack, her and Sky Sykes did a great job of really kind of holding things together for us. Carlene Beedry as well had some solid performances in that front three.
So your first Sun Belt game this Sunday against South Alabama. Last year you tied with double overtime. What are some things you're looking to do a little bit differently to maybe come out with a different outcome?
Yeah, listen, South Alabama are a very, very good team. You know, they're picked top of the league again this year. You know, it's a conference opponent, but it's a non-conference match. So the importance, the meaning of it, so to speak, in terms of the conference table, is not going to impact things. But they're a very good team. They're very talented. They're very deep. He always brings in good recruiting classes, and I'm sure he's done so again this year. And Rich and his staff do a good job of organizing their team. We're going to have to be very organized. We're going to have to be very disciplined. And I think there were some times last year in that game against them where we lost our discipline, and that's where they created their chances in transitional moments. So we're going to have to be really, really disciplined on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, and ultimately, in that discipline, make sure that it's being shown in terms of the way that we're executing our system. We've got to really play our system well, I think, in order for us to get a result on Sunday.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Darren Walker sits down with volleyball head coach Heather Mercedes-Fontenay.
At Courtesy Chevrolet in Broussard, we want to keep things moving.
That's why getting you back on the road in a vehicle you love is important to us.
Get a 2020 Chevy Equinox for $21,988 or a Chevy Traverse for $28,988. Only at Courtesy Chevrolet in Broussard.
You know, the faculty will be impacted by advance, but really the faculty are the ones who have driven for decades this significant educational experience here. You know, it's their passion and their love of students that have made undergraduate research and creative works, experiential learning in general, available to our undergraduate students. This is going to provide a mechanism for faculty to reach more students and provide the resources so that these faculty can entice more students into the experiential learning experience.
When it comes to professors, from a professor perspective, we are constantly looking to get students involved, you know, not just in the classroom. I mean, we want that student that's going to raise their hand and engage, and we're actually looking, though, for not just that student, but for every student to engage in that same way. You know, that said, it takes a lot of resources to not just do our own work, but to train other students to do it. When I think about my lab, for example, there's kind of my line of research and what I would do if I were just doing my own work and not mentoring anybody. And then there's all of the pieces involved in getting those students to engage in research in a meaningful way. There are you know, financial resources, there are training resources. If I want to teach my students not just psychology, but how to do research of psychology, and not just psychology, but my particular area of psychology, that's a big burden for me to overcome. You know, I've got to convince them that it's important, which I think just having the advanced program in place does. I've got to convince them or help them find resources, financial resources, so that they can take time off work or travel to a conference to present their work. You know, and I've got to provide these fundamental skills that are about research that really aren't my expertise. So what the advanced program does for UL Lafayette professors is it provides us with extra resources to support those students, providing them with just the support of having an agency that's within the university that's entirely devoted to this little bit extra that they're trying to do.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. The Ragin Cajuns volleyball team is off to a 2-0 start after back-to-back wins over Houston Baptist this weekend. Here now to talk about that and a lot more is the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns volleyball team, Heather Mazetas-Fano. Welcome. 13 years. How does it feel?
It feels old. No, hello. No, great. I'm just grateful to be able to do this 13th year right now and excited for our season. Yeah,
we were just talking. You took, I guess, a little bit of an unusual step by having senior night on the first night of the season.
Yeah, we did. You know, everything's so unsure, and we don't know what next week is going to look like. Right. And so if we got this first match off, then we were going to celebrate our seniors. And you know what? When we get to the end of this season, if there's another senior night, don't be surprised.
Okay, so I'm not a fan of the how does it feel question that reporters like to ask coaches and athletes, but I think with this situation, it fits. So, you know, given everything that's happened in the last 7 months and being out there coaching and playing and competing again, how did it feel to be back in the gym?
Honestly, it's reinvigorated my joy for this job. And I was talking to a reporter after the match Saturday, and I think if there's anything that the matches showed me and showed my team, you know, because the coronavirus, it plays with your mind a little bit, and it's like, oh, I can live without doing that. I don't, it's, you know, it's just volleyball, it's just coaching volleyball. But during the game, when all of a sudden, you know, your competitive juices are flowing and you see the joy of your kids and how much they love what they're doing, man, it's just reinvigorated me for this job.
And the season opener Friday night against Houston Baptist, you really came out and put it on early. It was 19-3. You must have been kind of just sitting back thinking, this is going to be easy, huh? No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, but what it did was our upperclassmen did their job. So we played almost every single rookie. And just getting their feet wet, you know, because that's the important thing with our new kids is we want to make sure just to get them out there in a non-pressure situation. And if we're up 19-3 and I can throw a couple kids in and if they make a few errors, which happened, then it's no harm, no foul, right? And so we were able to do that because our returners did such a great job.
You win the second set 25-15, and then the third set is a little bit more of a battle, but you wind up sweeping them. And shocker, Haley, 18 kills on the night.
So surprised.
I know.
So surprised that Haley is in double-digit kills. Now, I tell you, she has really done a great job this spring, or this not even spring, this time that we've been together, which hasn't been very long, really increasing her technical game. And so that's what's going to help get her through. Everybody knows about her now, everybody we play, right. So now she's got to be the smarter player.
Saturday, another match with Houston Baptist. They jumped out on you early and took the first set, and then in the second you're tied at 6, but from that point on you kind of took control.
Yeah, you know, we came out, and what I said before was we had a little bit of a win hangover, and I warned him that. I'm like, you guys worked really hard last night, and I was also worried about their legs because we are in no shape to play Division I volleyball yet at a consistent basis. And so what we did Friday night was on a lot of adrenaline and saved up energy, right. And then Saturday we just kind of came out a little bit flat. But most importantly, they turned it around, and I think we won the second set 25-13 or something, and so they completely flipped it, and that is just them going, okay, wait, don't be crazy. Like, we got this.
Yeah, you got to like the way they responded, especially in the fourth set, because I think you were down 9-4.
We were.
And then all of a sudden just took off.
Yeah, and again, we have the firepower this year to do that. We're still searching for our right side. We have a couple kids a little bit banged up, not injured, but banged up, so they're not performing at the level that they will be in a couple weeks. And so that'll be a good sign of where we're going to take this. This week, Friday and Saturday, you get South Alabama in town, not conference games. Correct. But a good early season test for your team. No, it's going to be great, and it's going to be their first matches. So unfortunately, they can scout us based on last weekend, but we won't be able to scout them. But that's okay. You know, they're in the East, and so our conference decided that we were only going to play a Western Division schedule. But because they're a regional opponent, and we were looking for different regional opponents, we decided to play. So we might play now, and then we would maybe see each other in the conference tournament. All right, Coach. Thanks a lot for the time. As always, we'll have highlights and reaction to those games next week on Inside Louisiana Athletics.
Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, we take a look at our welcome back convocation for the student athletes, and we recap our university-based esports tournament.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
You are UL Lafayette's #1 priority. That's why we're following guidelines set by national and local health experts to protect you during the COVID-19 pandemic. The university is reorganizing rooms and spaces to reinforce social distancing, sanitizing campus buildings, and mandating that everyone wears protective equipment. But don't just take our word for it. Take a look for yourself at some of the many safety measures we're implementing, and you'll see that our priority is you.
At past commencements, I've welcomed graduates to the finish line of their academic journeys. Tonight, in these surroundings, let me welcome you instead to the end zone. We will be awarding 320 degrees this evening, and it establishes a new university record of 3,610 academic degrees awarded this academic year. So graduates, you are part of an historic occasion. No matter what degree you are receiving tonight, you will play a role in the shape of things to come. Many of you may feel uncertain right now, and that's okay. but looking at you, I am filled with hope. The sun may be setting now, but a new dawn remains ahead, and you will lead us toward it. Congratulations, graduates. Thank you for being here, and go Cajuns.
Welcome back. As students return for the fall semester, Louisiana Ragin Cajun student athletes, faculty, and staff were reunited for the student athletes' favorite event of the year, the Welcome Back Convocation. The event was held virtually this year, but the same level of excitement was present. Let's have a look.
Competitive gaming, also known as esports, is one of the fastest growing sectors in the video game industry. Over the past decade, esports are receiving more coverage and numerous live tournaments are being hosted. One such tournament occurred between the Ragin Cajuns esports alumni and the current members in the game called Rocket League. Let's take a look at the recap.
Welcome everybody to Cajun Carball, a Ragin Cajun esports series where we showcase two teams in a best-of-3 matchup in the popular esports title Rocket League. Now you may ask, what is Rocket League? Rocket League is a vehicular soccer video game developed and published by Psyonix in 2015. In this game, two teams of 3 players face off in a soccer-like matchup to score as many points as possible in the 5-minute match. For this exhibition match, the current Ragin Cajuns esports team will face off against the now alumni team. Fun fact, the alumni team were the first team developed for the Ragin Cajun Esports Club. And with that, we have a winner as JSAV, Bakenlaw, and Classy will get the alumni the win. This is a fantastic showing from everyone today. The alumni take this one away from the current Ragin Cajun roster. Great to see both of these teams come out and play today. Thank you so much to everyone watching. It has been such a pleasure to commentate for you all.
Thanks for watching the season premiere of Inside Louisiana Athletics. Be sure to catch us next week for more Ragin Cajuns coverage. But for now, we'll leave you with the upcoming fall sports schedule.